Hearing the words is faithful, it felt like a voice whispering, I haven't left you, even when you can't feel me, because he's always there. He's always around us.
Can't see grace for what it is until you need it most. God feels so close to us in those moments.
The third hour is here. Holy Spirit appear. Guide us in all
Kind of, to me, proves like that God has knitted us together, like to glorify Him. Literally, with every breath that we take, even without us knowing it, we are glorifying God.
And glorify the risen Lord and King.
You want to have a closer relationship with Jesus, trying to be the best person you can be each and every day. That glorifies Him.
Holy Spirit, do your thing. We might not know how, but we ain't gonna feel.
Like, that is God sending us. That is how He feels for us. That is how He cares for us.
Move us today, Holy Spirit, come and fill this place. Move us today, Holy Spirit, come and fill this place.
Hey guys, before we get into this episode, I just wanted to let you know that if you want to check out any of the songs that we talk about today, the new Christian music songs for the week, or our hidden gems, as well as the Winter Jam 26 preview, go over to the Third Hour Collection on Spotify. And we have those already in a playlist for you. The new songs will be updated weekly every Friday. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Third Hour. This is season 2. If this is your first time joining us, we just want to let you know, thank you first and foremost for taking time to listen. We are a Christian music podcast that we cover new weekly Christian music drops, as well as we throw in some hidden gem throwbacks week to week, as well as we also review some concerts and stuff that we go to. But that's not all. It's not just music. We also do just conversations of faith, whether it be between us or guests that we have on, maybe their testimony or just whatever they have on their heart. We also have artist interviews. So we kind of take on a lot, and I know that seems like a lot, but if you guys go back on our YouTube page, we have all it broke down in separate playlists for you so it doesn't get overwhelming. We're so excited to see what season 2 holds. Season 1 was super fun. I don't want to go back through all of them as far as the guests and stuff, but just go check them out. Each one of them was just a real blessing. I feel like to take time and listen to everybody talk and play their music and the conversations we had. Season 2, we have at least 3 or 4 artists I know that we have lined up. We have about 3 or 4 different guests, a few local pastors, as well as just some other people just wanting to share their testimony. So we've got a lot just in store for season 2. Just stay with us. If you follow us on YouTube, make sure to hit the notification button. So anytime that we drop a new episode, it'll let you know. And I think even Spotify and Apple has that same feature, if I'm not mistaken. So just hit that, and anytime a new episode drops, you guys will be notified right away. So with that being said, so we'll get straight to the good stuff. I know you guys, if you haven't, or if you had been watching and you've missed us over the last few weeks, we got some new Christian music. I don't think we really missed a whole lot over Christmas. It seems like everybody, even the artists, kind of took a little bit of a break, even through the New Year's. So it worked out pretty good for all of us to have a good rest time. So what we're going to do, we're going to kick it to one another, just like we did in season 1, and talk about the songs that just dropped this last Friday. And we're going to do something special for this episode and touch on the top 3 songs that touched us personally in 2025. Now, that doesn't mean, in our opinion, the top 3 chart-topping songs or the top 3 maybe best per Christian radio or anything, but just the top 3 that spoke to us personally. We'll do that after we cover the new songs for the week. But we'll go ahead and start that, and I'll go ahead and kick it over to someone else.
So my favorite song this week was I'd Do It Again by Andrew Ripp. I just really like that song, and it kind of put me in the kind of like the frame of mind. When I was listening to it, I was actually thinking about when I had Braxton. My delivery with him was horrible, and it was hard, and it was traumatic. And I was thinking to myself, I would do it over again a million times. And that's kind of like the love Jesus has for us. He suffered and went through the unimaginable. And I think about how much I love my kids, and he loves us that much, actually, even more. So I really, really enjoyed that song.
It was in my top 3 as well. That was in my top 3. Yep.
Me as well. I enjoyed that song a lot. And I love the perspective, like he was talking in the perspective of Jesus, and he goes into like the chorus, like, you're not there, you're never too far gone, never too far dark, and I would still do it because I love you. And that's how I took it. And just beautiful song, honestly. It really touched me when I listened to that.
He says in that one part about the betrayal of the kiss. I forget how the line is, but it made me think and we know this, we hear this about Jesus experiencing, everything that we went through, tempted just like any other man and stuff, yet sinless. But just imagine how he felt to have that betrayal be real and to happen. And you ever known something? It's like something that like is bad, and it's kind of heartbreaking, but then you really find out about it. You know what I mean? Like you've had some bad news, but when it like you really find out, or like it hits you or whatever, you've lost faith in that person, and like you actually experience it. It's like it's different from somebody telling you, and then when you actually confront it and stuff, and it's like I can only imagine, like he knew that Judas was going to betray him and stuff, but to have that kiss happen and stuff, and knowing that he was handing him over, it's like, the song's a great song though. And to know that he would do all that again for us, just to give us a chance to be in right standing with the Father. Like, awesome song. Great song.
It is a fantastic song. Mariah, what was one of yours?
That one was almost in my top 3, but I put on mine, I've got Good by Matthew West. To me, it was like immediately the first 2 songs that we did, I was like, oh, Rusty even said we were listening to it getting ready. He was like, oh, 2 for 2 this week already. So I love that song. And it just is a good reminder. I think that it doesn't matter. Nothing, we cannot do anything to deserve. None of our works is going to get us to heaven. We don't deserve it. But Jesus, no matter how far gone we are, he's so good and he's so loving that he's the reason that and I just love that song. I think I've listened to it. I don't know. I've listened to it a ton of times.
That was also, I had 4, but that was actually in one of my top songs too. And you pretty much nailed it on the head there. It was a really good song, and probably actually one of my favorite Matthew West songs, honestly. I like Matthew West, and he's been around for a long time. And I don't know what it was we were listening to. I think it was Friday, whenever I was like, we turned it on and that song came on, and I was like, oh, it's new Matthew West. It just like, I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I was really, really happy that song came out. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I also had that as one of mine too, and it was one of my favorites. I actually think, kind of like Rusty alluded to, it's one of my favorite Matthew West songs. Not to say like his last, he's been releasing a lot. Not to say they wasn't good or anything, but all of them still were like behind like older Matthew West for me. Like I really loved like some of his earlier stuff, but this song is like right up with like up to the top of my Matthew West hits. I feel like I think it's the best song he's came out with. In a long time. And that's not to sell the other one short. I really liked it. I liked the way it sounded. I had some of the lyrics here. It says, I'm good at always falling down. You're good at never giving up. I'm good at getting turned around. You're good at saying I'm still loved. And I was wrecked by mercy the day that I understood. And I'll just stop right there because I think that there's been a few times when, especially as I was younger, that I thought I understood kind of, the sacrifice Jesus made for us. But the last time I feel like I truly understood like his mercy and his grace and And when you when you truly understand that, I feel like it hits you. Like it just wrecks you. And at that point, like you feel like every day you just understand like your need for a savior. I feel like, and this song kind of talks about that. It's just a reminder that we just we're gonna keep slipping up. We're gonna keep messing up. And I think we kind of briefly touched about it even in youth this past Sunday. Our identity, like what's our identity in? And I think this song is a nice reminder that our identity is in Christ, and because of that, we are loved. But I think he even mentions in the song, the best part of me is him. Sean, I guess we'll bounce over to you. I'm not sure what order we're in, so we'll just bounce it around. What's another song you have?
So, like I said, I Do It Again was in my top 3. I really liked Timotopé, the Gods I've Made song. So I was looking at, though, that's an EP. And there's another song that's really good, Cameron, called Demons Die Today. And so both of those songs really good. But out of the gate, like when that first verse, I forgot the lyrics or somewhere, it said something like, I'm done bowing to these golden calves, trying to justify them, but I know they won't last. What first caught my eye has started to fade. I'm done bowing down to these gods I've made. I don't know, man, just something hit home to me because I was thinking about so often, like, things end up becoming golden calves in our lives, and it's like something, kind of, it catches our eye or whatever, it's shiny, sparkly or whatever, and it takes our focus off of God and stuff, but it just caught me, and the rest of the lyrics are really good. And then when he gets to the chorus and he says, throw them all in the fire because they won't last anyway, throw them all on the fire till only you remain. Just a great song, man. And then when you go and listen to that other song, The Demons Die Today, and he's just talking about basically like, when he gives the Christ is moving in your life, and you give your life to him, it's like the demons die today. Like, I'm not doing it justice, man, but it's, I guess, is that an extended play? An EP is 2 songs an EP? Because that's, when you go and look at that, that's what his latest release are, those 2 together. Both really good. Both, but that was in my top 3.
I was trying to think, we had Demons Die Today on one of, it's been out before. I was trying to think, because he had a collab with somebody, if I'm not mistaken.
So maybe that's a re-release. Maybe he remixed it or something. I don't know, but it's really good.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I cannot remember who it was that he did a collab with. I mean, he drops a lot of songs. We've had him on here several times.
Just about every week he has. I've loved everything he's put out.
Oh yeah.
I also had that song. And so I guess we've all like, I guess, been in sync this week because y'all have had songs.
We didn't have as many songs this week as we normally do, so it's been a little easier to pick.
I think the Timotopé song, though, I think that was my top song, though. I just love his voice. I love his sound. And the message was incredible. And I feel like it kind of struck home with me because I think a lot of times, I struggle with that, the golden calves, sometimes, I get a little obsessive over, things that I enjoy. And I get a little, I think about them a little too much. I think it when I listened to it, it really like hit me. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, this is not talking to me. So, yeah.
I also had it in mine too. It kind of came at a funny time for me because I mean, everybody that knows me knows I'm like a huge 49ers fan. Sunday rolled around and we had youth coming up and we played at 4:30 and that song came out this week and I was listening to it and I was like, wow, I shouldn't even be having a thought about trying to sit here and watch this game. I got to get up and go. Now, granted, I did have it on my phone on the way there, and I did check some scores, but I did go. So that's a moment of transparency. I guess I had to be accountable pretty quick after listening to that song.
It was a struggle for you, but I'm proud that you did it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great song, and he's a fantastic artist. He had commented, I think, on one of our posts
too. So,
and they did win. They did win.
There you go.
Yeah.
He said there was, I guess, was it the end of the game? He said that
there
was a play that was made, and it took everything in him not to jump up in the middle of the sanctuary.
I mean, we had a lot of group, not. I mean, I don't want to get too much into what we talked about or anything, but we talked about stuff as a group, but it wasn't necessarily like the lesson yet. So it was kind of lax. And so, yeah, I was like kind of checking on it. And then about that time, it was like 40 seconds left in the game, like 4th down and 11 on like the 20-yard line. And then the lesson starts. And I was like, I had to, and I did. I was like giving that I was trying to give the lesson my full attention and stuff. But it was hard to contain some excitement. And that's going to happen this Saturday too. We're going to be at a conference and we play at 8:00 Saturday night. So, yeah.
God's really testing you.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, and this song, I guess, like I said, it's funny. It just came out perfect time. So, fantastic song though. I'm trying to see where most of my songs are already done now because I think we've been bouncing around and stuff. I also had "Easy" by We the Kingdom,
I did too.
and that's one initial I didn't have in mind, but as I just kept playing through the songs and stuff, it just really put me in a very calm headspace, and it just talks about Jesus and his yoke is easy.
His burden is light.
Yeah, and how's it? Burden is light, and I'm trying to think of the next line.
Lay down your troubles
To the giver of life. Yeah, and I just think that's beautiful, and even the tone of the song is very calming, and so it just really puts you, like I said, in a good headspace. Takes you out of maybe the stress that you're in. It reminds you of that. So that was another one of mine.
Like how it alluded to, people being on a journey, because it starts off with like, "Hey, you wanderer," and then later on it's like, "Hey, you sailor," sail your ship. His light shining or something to that extent. And then at the end it's like, "Hey, there's hope for all." His yoke is easy. So it was a good song too. Lord forgive me. Obviously, they're all good because they're they're uplifting him, right? I felt like I was gonna say all of them were really good. There's a few of them I personally didn't care for, but the majority of them were really good. Just wanted to be honest.
I got what you're saying.
But the majority of them are really good this week.
And We the Kingdom's coming out with an album, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it with me right now, but I think that these 3 or 4 songs we've covered all the ones they've dropped over the last like month or two. But I think it's a full blown album coming out here soon. So I think the album's actually called Dear Jesus, which is one of the songs that
we had that
we covered.
last time
Yeah.
or
What?
time before last.
Not been the last
I think it
time
was
you
time
was on.
for
Last time I was on.
Rusty, what about you? You got another one? Or we already knocked out all yours.
You knocked out all the new ones, but the only one that I had left was actually a song that has already been released, but he re-released it with Cody Johnson, and that'd be Brandon Lake,
Yeah.
one of Cowboy Praise. And I mean, we hadn't started the podcast yet when that song came out, but I remember when we went and seen Brandon Lake, he actually told the crowd that, he was going to release that song. And I think he had just released it, but maybe the week before. And he was going to release it, and he was going to release it with Cody Johnson. So, but yeah, I thought it added an extra layer to that song. The song was already incredible, but I think Cody Johnson's little touch on it, I think just, makes it a little more on the country side. It's already kind of had a country sound to it, but of course Cody Johnson's, very country rugged voice. So I really enjoy it. I think I like this version better.
He was playing it at the PBR Bull Riding Championship the other day. That was cool.
Oh,
And-
I thought you were going to make fun of me.
Oh, I am. Yeah. And I told Chelsea, I said, this is really cool. And she said, he's playing at PBR. What's he PBR? Why is he playing with that? She's thinking of the alcoholic drink PBR.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. But it was a really cool scene because he also posted some clips of him backstage singing Gratitude. And a lot of the bull riders were back there either like singing with them, worshiping with them. Like it was a cool thing to see. I mean, like I say, he done that song that Rusty mentioned. Like I think they're in the arena though for the event. Cody wasn't with him for that one, but yeah, the collab with him and Cody's great, and I think that he has other things going on down the line with some people in the country music world, collabs and stuff. So
Did Chelsea ever figure out what PBR actually stood for?
I told her it was a professional bull riding or whatever. I think that's the acronym for it. But yeah, after that, she's like, oh,
That's it.
okay. So, but it was, yeah. Mariah, do you have another one?
Yes. So it's actually kind of like Put You Still in the Mind of like the Timmy Tope song that it's If It's Not You by Anna Childs. And it was basically the meaning of the song was the same way, you know. There can be a million things in the world that we put above God, but if it's not of God, then it's not really something that I should or that I really want to have interest in. So I really loved that song. And I did not pull up any of her about any of her bio in Spotify, but I think she may be sort of newer to the podcast. Or maybe she didn't have much on there. Sorry, Cameron, I forgot to do that.
I just had told Chelsea, I said, I actually forgot to do that with any of mine. So it's all right. I think she is newer. I don't think that we've mentioned her before, not to my knowledge.
I don't recognize her name either.
Yeah, and like you guys were saying about the Timmy Tope song, that it's kind of like we put these things ahead that we don't really think about it, you know, whether that be, you know, football or kids sports or money. There was this position that I really wanted at work. Well, it was actually at another company, but I really wanted it, and I was like, man, this job is like a dream job for me. And then it didn't come about, and like I really thought that I was going to be super disappointed whenever I didn't get that position. But then I was like, you know what, like if God had wanted me to have this position, I would have walked right into it. It would have not been a big deal at all. But then when I thought about it, I was like, if this is not what God wants, then I don't really want it either. You know, so anyway, I just thought that If It's Not You by her was a really good song.
I really like that one too. I didn't have it on my list, but it was one of them that you could put on repeat as well. I thought it was really good. Chelsea, do you have another one, or have we mentioned all yours?
So I'll just briefly I really liked Got a Reason by KB and No Big Deal.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so I obviously don't listen to him now, but back in the day I loved Kendrick Lamar. I just loved the way his music sounded and like the beats and the way KB sung it. It kind of put me in mind of Kendrick Lamar, but I really liked it.
I actually liked it when I liked KB's part, but I liked it changes. The beat and stuff kind of changes when No Big Deal goes to rap, you know. I really liked his part on it. The whole song
Yeah.
was good, but I really liked his verse.
I just thought it's got a fun
It
beat.
was a
and
good one.
I figured
And I
Sean
love
would
how he
have
takes
that.
the worship songs and he always does something with them, you know, and then rolls them into this hip hop, you know, this rap song. So that's really good.
And I don't know if this is like he's coming out the new album too, I think, here soon. I don't know if that's a part of it or if this is just something separate. But he had that campaign song a month or two ago. I had one I've not heard anybody mention so far. It's more like a pretty happy song you have to get up and dance and worship too, but it's Thank God I'm Free, Elevation Rhythm. We're actually gonna go see Elevation Rhythm here, less than 2 months now in the Elevation Nights. Every time I mention going to see somebody from this concert, she's like, really? We're going to see them? Like, yes, Jess. So, it's going to be in Knoxville. We're going to go see Elevation Nights, Elevation Worship. Yeah. Now you remember.
at this point, I just show up because Cameron is constantly sending me concerts and I just show up.
This is a blessing, this one, because somebody, was selling the tickets. It's my birthday, too. So
It is Cameron's
cool.
birthday.
It's awesome birthday present then.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's the reason why I got him.
We went to Faith Fest for our anniversary, Elevation Worship for his birthday.
Yeah, I'd like to go Faith Fest again for my anniversary. I guess I got outvoted. I mean, can you imagine Charity Gale worshiping those songs and then going straight over to Toby Mac? Man, that's just awesome. Yeah, man. And the night before having CC Winans.
I think Chelsea is thinking like, let's go to an island and let's go to Hawaii or something like that.
Wilkesboro, an island. I mean, it's kind of both of them are
Not
pretty
the
hot.
same. It's not the
No.
same.
No.
Not the same.
Okay. But anyway, so Thank God I'm Free by Elevation Rhythm. It's kind of to me, it's like you're in that moment of just praising, and you might be dancing, you might be jumping up and down, you might be acting like a fool or whatever, and some people might think you're crazy. And this song is kind of like that, the answer to that. Right? And I had some of the lyrics down, and It says, I'm free, thank God I'm free. I found a friend that never quits, no other loves as good as this. And I don't care what anyone says, I'll never be ashamed to praise like this. And to me, like I said, it's just a happy song, but it's one of those that, if somebody's watching, they're like, man, well, you're acting crazy up here, praising, raising your hands. And to me, it's like, I'm free. Look what Jesus has done for us, for me. And if you think of it like that, I mean, yeah, you got plenty of reason to be jumping up and down, celebrating, dancing, and I can't dance. And so I might not dance in church. I mean, if I'm here, I might be dancing a little bit. It's just one of those, I don't know, like I said, it's just, to me, if anybody's wondering like how you could have that, it's because of what he's done for us. It's more of a upbeat song.
I want to see you have Bo dancing like that little boy did on that video I sent you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know about that. Show tells story.
I sent him a video of this
Yeah.
and they were
Now that you
getting
say it,
it.
I'm thinking
And
about
they
Bo and
letting this kid dance on the pulpit, on the stand. The kid
He was like
was
flat
like,
footing at first.
yeah, it was on.
and that's actually pretty impressive, honestly, that he didn't fall. Because he
It
had no
was.
support. He just sitting there, his legs are going, sideways.
Listen,
Just
I
flat.
wouldn't put it above Bowen. I really wouldn't.
It was.
Bowen comes up there at the end of service at church,
Does.
and he gets up there in his little knees.
He
and lets
dances
up his moves.
every Sunday. He goes
Yeah.
up to the stage. He tries to get on the stage, and we won't let him.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a good thing, though. I feel like I hope he never changes. I hope he's always like that.
Yes, be free to worship, man. And the Bible says that David danced before the Lord. So I mean, yeah. There's not a whole lot more to say than if Jesus don't make you happy, something's wrong. Check your fruit, check see what you're really producing. If you don't have joy, man, that makes you want to get up and move and praise Him.
I think I have. Does anybody have any that we haven't mentioned? Because I know me and you were done. Sean, do you have any more we haven't mentioned of the new ones?
Actually, I had two. I know you said just three, but the
No.
one that was a close one probably wasn't actually in my top three, but I really liked that Aaron Shoes song that was what was it called? Peter's Confession. I thought it was really cool to hear it kind of like from Peter, to hear a song confessing Jesus as the Messiah and stuff. And it was a really cool song. And I don't know if I've ever heard a song from that context before from the disciple. One song that really got me, and I'm surprised that I really thought one of y'all would pick it, is the Jenny Owen song, God Will Meet You There. It's basically talking about like any type of situation that you face and go through with, it's like, have you ever got something that you wished for and then it just all to pieces? It's not what you thought it would be, and you find yourself either angry or frustrated or depressed or whatever. And she's just like, God will meet you there. But I just thought it was a very beautiful song and just reminded me of how good God is really towards us and His kindness towards us and stuff. And He meets us in our pain. He's not put off by our feelings of despair and our lack of faith at times. When we're faithless, He's faithful. I really enjoyed that song. But that was my last one in my top three, was that one.
Sorry. I was sitting there trying to think. I feel like I heard that, I listened to that one, and I hadn't really gave it enough plays to go back through it, because most of them that's been mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, I definitely remember that one. But that one you mentioned, for whatever reason, it didn't pop out to me. So I think I just need to go back and listen to that one.
Yeah, you have to go back and listen to it. It's real good.
And the Peter's Confession, Aaron Shoes, y'all remember when he first started out? He used to be one of the bigger named artists. I'm trying to think that it was when I was growing up. There was a big single that he had. You remember it, Mariah?
When I looked at that song, I was like, what was that song? And I meant to look it up and I never did, but I know
To God
too.
Alone.
Hold on.
We were teenagers.
I'm pretty sure To God Alone or To God Something is one, but that's not the one. That's not the first one.
Christ Alone, was that it?
No, I don't think
No.
it's that one.
There's one that was
pulled it up,
the first one that really took off. Because I remember having a little MP3 player that you'd have to hit the button to click, to go to the next song, and it was on there. What is that song?
On Spotify, My Savior, My God is.
That's it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's his big one. Well, I
And
mean, he's had other first one.
yeah, that I was trying to think. There's another one too that I was thinking maybe might be
Ever
resurrecting
Be.
is the other
Ever
one I
Be
was
is
thinking
another
about.
big one. I remember My Hope Is in You a little bit too.
Yeah, remember that one. There was one right after My Savior, My God that kind of took off. It was like a single. I can't remember which one, but that was the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
If you had heard it, like if you would listen to it afterwards, you might remember it from like church, like growing up and stuff. Like it was pretty big then. But anyway, I guess we can transition on into our top songs of 2025 and go over those, and then we'll close up the episode for the week. I'm really interested, guys, to like listen or to hear you guys share the top 3 songs that kind of spoke to you during 2025. I think it, just speaking for everybody, I know a whole year like that, we all go through things, whether it be trials, whether it be moments of joy, or whether it be loss. And even within loss, within the communities, trials within communities that we're in, or even a bigger picture, just things in the world. And so these songs are just songs that personally spoke to you during this last season of life. And so I'm really interested to see what everybody has. What I thought would be good is just we can all bounce around at maybe our number 3 and then bounce around to our number 2 and then go to our number 1. And then if anybody has any just like honorable mentions that you definitely wanted to like name drop and be like, this didn't make the top 3, but I want somebody to know that this song came out in 2025 and we wouldn't a podcast just yet. Of course that we can do that too. But with that being said, we can start with our number 3 song. Chelsea, you want to start out and give us your number 3 and your top 3 songs of 2025?
My number 3 was Prove a Thing by Ben Fuller and Kane. And I picked that one just because it was just one that I found myself constantly listening to. Every playlist I would make, I would put that one on it, and it was one of my favorite songs of 2025.
I was waiting for Sean to say, of course, Kane, but we ain't done yet.
I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide.
Yeah. Well, you still got your second and first place.
Oh, I thought we were all
No. I was just making a joke that you probably have more Kane songs, is what I
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. But they had to be on there.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and do mine. I'll kick it over to you guys. My number 3, and it's kind of a newer song. We did cover this song on one of our episodes, but it was Get His Good by Southeast Worship. I really liked that song whenever we went over it. And then just the more I listened to it, I don't know, it's really spoke to me. And I love the line in it, a few different lines, but one of them it says, even if I have to wait till glory, like even if I have to wait till I'm, gone from this world, to see maybe the fruit of the struggle or the fruit of like what his plans are, I'm still going to praise him anyway. And I think the whole song kind of paints a picture of having faith as your sight. I know what's the old Jeremy Camp song, Walk by Faith, right? And the chorus in the song it says, like, I sing through the night until my faith becomes my sight. And I just think it paints a really good picture of what faith based sight is. And even the bridge it talks about, I'm in this wilderness and I don't know how many prayers I'm going to have to pray till I see the fruit of it, but I'm going to praise anyway. And I know he's going to get his good out of it. And it just, I don't know, for some reason, like it's really like wrecked me. Like every time I hear it, especially here recently, um, there's a lot of things that we go through personally, or even if we see maybe not with us, but just like loss of life or something like that, and we don't understand sometimes. So it's just having that faith that God has a plan, He's gonna get His good out of it, and I think if we just go with the perspective that we have or that the world kind of has, then I don't know that the hope isn't always there. Like you don't always see how it could end up being something good. And it's kind of like you're on, talking about your foundation and stuff. It kind of feels like you're on like a quicksand or something, you don't feel very sturdy. And I don't know. This song to me, it was just uh, faith personified. It's like faith is full trust. And this song came out like you had full trust in him. It was one of my favorites, my top 3. It was my number 3. So I'll pick over you, John.
my top 3 or my third one? You want my third one first?
Yeah, we'll go 3 and then we'll go 2 and we'll go 1.
My third one was I really liked No Survivors by Jeremy Camp. And it's because it's like, you remember his first song, Take My Life? You remember it was rocking. Like it's like he came back. That's funny when you said I still believe, or you mentioned him a minute ago and stuff. And a lot of people know him for the more worshipy, softer stuff, and those are great songs, but it was so cool to hear this one, when he released No Survivor. I was like, oh yeah, man. I was like, there's Jeremy Camp. That's the guy I first heard, So that's probably my third one for the year. Yeah, I'll shut up and but I don't know what y'all think about that. Did y'all like that one?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
kind of, even the Christmas song kind of called back a little bit, didn't he, to like some of the harder
So-
rock groups. He's been
Little
hanging out with
driving.
Skillet too much in that the Awakening
Skillet
tour. I think. Yeah, Skillet was with him, wasn't he, in the Survivors song, right?
Yeah, the remix. They done like a what was
Remix.
later in the year. They done a remix, and Skillet jumped onto it with them.
Yeah. So that's a good collab there.
Yeah.
I need to let you listen, Chels, to some of the like the song that he's talking about from old Jeremy Camp, because I don't think you've heard that.
Oh, you got to hear. If she's never Take My Life, you got to play it for her before y'all go to bed.
Yeah. I love like older Jeremy Camp, which I even like after he got out of that harder rock stuff, even into what's the Take This Man? Is that what it is?
That's a good
Mhm.
song. There will be a day.
There will be
Yeah.
that's even later. That's on the Speaking Louder Than Before album, I think.
Yeah.
But then you had like man, there's another song that he had come out when he had Take This Man. He had another one. Well, man, we're gonna we'll go on a rabbit
Yeah,
hole
but
of
you're
Jeremy
bringing
Camp. So, but anyway, we can't get over to Rusty, but sorry.
Yeah. I struggled with my third song. There was a lot of good songs last year, but one that I think kind of flew maybe a little under the radar because Forrest put out a lot of music last year. He put out a song with Crowder last year called The Rock. And
Well, that was a good one. Yeah.
it's such a good song, and it's a really upbeat song. I like listening to it in the gym. I mean, it's just one of those songs that just gets real catchy, and yeah, that would be my third song. I really enjoy it, and it's like I said, it kind of flew under. I don't know if it flew under the radar, but I think Forrest put out so much music last year that the next song kind of whelmed the last song he put out. So
I think that's totally what happened with it, because that's a good song, but it was overshadowed by the other ones. So yeah,
yeah,
I think
And the King
didn't Lemonade happen like not too long after that? It was like
Yeah,
he had the
Lemonade.
Crowder song, and then Lemonade blew up. So yeah,
and he
Well,
had
I
just
think-
put out that Child of God too. He had
Well,
just
I
put that
think
album out, and
Lemonade. I was trying to think, Lemonade hit off, and then because that's when he first broke his back, and then Lemonade hit off, and then The Rock happened, and then when that happened, that's when people started doing the videos that that kind of mocked the whole thing, because they were like Forrest is laying in bed here hurt, but he's like dropping these hit singles and collabing with people, and that's when all that happened, and then the stuff with Corey Asbury happened, and then he had Misunderstood after it.
okay,
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And so, because I remember the Crowder thing started because of when Lemonade took off, it went crazy. And Crowder's like, I'm going to try this, because he was laying in bed hurting too, because he had broke his leg, right?
broke it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he ended up connecting with Forrest, and then they over sending videos back and forth through Instagram, created this song. One of them sent a verse. Then the other one's like, oh, I like that. I'm going to send this verse back. But it was all for everybody to see, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, I think that was cool too. I didn't realize the timing was that. I thought him and Crowder did that first after he broke his back, and then they did the Lemonade. I think you're right. Yeah. So, but for some reason though, I'm like with Rusty. It's like it didn't get the props
traction.
that it deserved. Yeah, the traction that it deserved. It was a really good one.
Well, I think something interesting too about Forrest and really 2025, maybe late 2024, is I remember watching, it was kind of like his response to like all the people making fun of him. And I remember that he was like, he said that all of a sudden he was, in his prayer room talking to the Lord, and the Lord was like, start recording everything. So that's exactly what he did whenever he broke his back. And then before that, he's been putting out a lot of stuff. And he said that Obviously that led to like everything with Corey Asbury and their friendship, and all of that. So I think that's super cool. And like you guys were saying with the Crowder song, how that kind of like took place on like you said on Instagram, right, Cameron? So I mean, it's really cool to see all these things like take place like right in front of our eyes.
And Corey, and even the Figs, a part of the Lemonade song, they're both on tour with him right now. So as I saw all that kind of just like you said, we got to see all of it kind of from the outside looking in, but it was real special. Everybody shared their number 3 song except for Mariah. Mariah, what's your number 3 song of your top 3?
I struggled with like ranking them too. So I don't know that even when I wrote my list, I ranked them exactly how they would be, but I mean, I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna do number 3, The Prodigal by Josiah Queen. And I'm a huge Josiah Queen fan. I've loved literally everything he has put out. So that's one of the songs like the kids in the car, everybody would be singing it as soon as they said like The Prodigal, the kids are yelling it, screaming it. So that's definitely one of my feel good songs.
I figured somebody would mention Josiah Quinn, which I figured Dusty Bibles would be on somebody's because that's a
good one.
That's songs.
That's your second song.
I knew it would be. I think that's a fantastic song.
We Kane and then Josiah Queen. We've got
Now, if they
Josiah's big in
happen to
our
have a
top song.
song together,
yeah.
if they went on tour together, you guys would get meet and greets.
Oh man,
We would.
That would be y'all's dream if you got Ben Fuller, Kane, and Josiah Queen to do a concert. Like
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Hey, there is.
Let's add Forrest Frank.
Add
in
Forrest
there,
Frank.
guys.
Yeah. I think there was a festival that I shared with you guys like months ago. That's in like Ohio. I have to look at it, but they were very early in posting the artist. If I'm not mistaken, I know Josiah Queen was on it, but I think Kane might have been on it too. It was like a 4-day festival, and I know Skillet was like the headliner on the first night. I have to see if I can find that again. I can't remember
Find where it's at.
but yeah, I mean,
We might be going back to Ohio.
Yep. Hopefully we get a better Uber driver this time. He just doesn't,
listen, you guys,
ignore me.
you did one Faith Fest. You did one Faith Fest day, and you was done. That's a 4-day festival.
If it was Kane and Josiah Queen, I'd be all right.
Yeah, for that day. The other days you would.
Anyway,
Stop roasting my wife on air here, I guess. So I'll start with my number 2 song. Or no, wait, you went first last time. Yeah, we'll go to you. Your number 2 song, your top 3. Then we'll make it.
my number 2 was "Desperate" by Jamie McDonald, and I think
It's a good one.
that song just kind of really embodies how my year went. I was desperate for God the whole year, and it's a good song.
Fantastic song. And
Yep,
she's
same
also, I think she's coming out the new album here soon. We've
Yeah.
covered a lot of the newer songs that she's released.
She's just amazing. I'm so excited to see where her career takes her.
Yeah, and that song, I think we maybe have mentioned it or talked about it on this podcast before,
Sure.
but it came from a moment of desperation in her life because she was taking care. Well, she had started her music career and ended up being on hold with it for maybe like 10 years or something because she had stopped to take care of her father and ended up like of course, like after he had passed, she was in the recording room and her and some others were brainstorming like what song they were going to write. And they came to the conclusion they were just desperate for God in that moment and through a lot of things they were all, the struggles they were all sharing. And that's kind of how the song came about. But I mean, of course, I'm not doing it justice. Go and check that out, her testimony about that. And it was the song that's really just launched her career. And now, like I said, she's having this album come out and she's also headlining her first tour. So just really cool.
Yeah, it's a powerful song. If you haven't heard it, I suggest listening to it.
I'll go to my number 2 song on my top 3. And I know we've already joked about Ben Fuller, so I guess it's going to be no surprise when I say this. But this song to me and this album to me is like, in my opinion, the best album. Well, King of Hearts by Brandon Lake was probably up there as well. But this might have been the best album, I think, of the whole year. And it was the Walk Through Fire album by Ben Fuller. But the song is the title track, which is Walk Through Fire. And if you know Ben Fuller's story, it's just incredible testimony, just the things he's went through. But just me personally, I think it's something that is very relatable And I had some of the lyrics here. I think it's on the second verse, but it says, "You were faithful, more than able. You never lost control. You were speaking, you were reaching in the heat of it all. Turns out it was there that I was changed. Every flame forged my faith. The inferno might have burned me, but it set my hope ablaze." And it goes on to talk about through the chorus, just how every struggle really through his life had meaning, and it helped shape him into the person he is today. Everything that he had went through, God, is using for one, again, like to help shape him, but also his story is like touching people, and it's relatable to certain people going through the struggles they're going through, and I'm one of those people. I think that sometimes, and I'm not sharing it a whole lot, but on here, and then of course at church, a little bit about my testimony, and sometimes I get a little embarrassed to share it, and then I think, like the song says, like there's a reason for all of that. And I think really, just this last 2 weeks, it's really touched me because, just like yesterday, I went through my old high school and I hadn't been there in like 10 years, and just walking, through the gym and just like going outside and just like kind of putting myself in the mindset of like where I was even then in my faith journey and everything, and just the stuff I was doing, and then thinking about now, like how far, like how much has changed. And then even with, and I shared this in my testimony, but my grandma passed, like it really like rocked me and I struggled with it. And then her husband, my grandfather, passed last week, and I can see the difference in where I am, like, or where I was then. I was just really not walking in the right path, and how much I struggled with it to where now, not to say that it's easy, but the perspective's a little different now, and I feel like just my connection with God's different. In this passing, it felt like more, not that I wasn't sad, but it was more like joy, I guess, knowing like where he's at, and you just feel like that certainty like in your heart. I don't know. Like for me, it was like the song was a little bit of a reflection, or a moment to reflect, I guess. Anyway, John, what's your second song in your top three?
My second song would be "I Know a Name." So, just love that song. Something for some reason I tend to I really love all the songs that mention Jesus and his name. Like, you remember the Hidden Gem song that we did? Something about the
Yeah.
name Jesus.
Yeah.
I was just anyhow, that song it's just a great song. I know a name, man, and I call you Savior. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's just, it fires me up. I just love, I really do think there's something to, about the name of Jesus. And when you start saying that, it doesn't matter what mood you're in, it doesn't matter what you're going through and stuff, there, hope rises. And that song was a great song this past year. And I was literally had it stuck in my head all day today, and it'll just, and not that I heard it, it just came to me, right? And that's it. It's one of those songs. So that's my second song of the year. Just an amazing song. So yeah.
Before you go to Rusty, talking about that song, and Rusty and Mariah can comment on this too. I mean, all the songs of Brandon Lake, when we went and saw him, people sang along to. But that song, like when he stepped out and he said that first line, like there wasn't anybody in the crowd, a crowd that was a step behind, and like it was so loud. He stopped and he's like, wow. And it's like, so, I mean, that song, like the impact of it.
I can only imagine how y'all felt too. Like it must have been amazing to hear everybody in unison singing that song. Like I would have had goosebumps all over me, so.
I have goosebumps thinking about it right now. Like it was insane. Like just all those people there praising the Lord. I mean, it was so good.
That's too
Never
cool.
experienced anything like it.
Go, Rusty, what about your number two song?
Well, it would be Dusty Bobbles by Josiah Queen. And yeah, that song, I remember when I think Mariah had sent me a TikTok. It was a teaser of, he had like a little snippet of the song. And it was, of course, the first little part of the first verse is we've got dust on our Bibles and brand new iPhones, and we wonder why we feel this way. And like that is such a catchy but real lyric. It's like, it correlates to anything in our life. You get a brand new vehicle, you get a brand new TV, you get a brand new house, you get a brand new anything, and that looks real shiny and it looks, really nice. And you put more care into that than you do, the word of God or listening or praying or anything, or spending time with God. And I think, that song really it blew up. And I still to this day see people on TikToks, playing that song. I just think that it had such a real message, and it's a message that we needed to hear in 2025 and still in 2026. So it's a worthy reminder each and every day.
Dusty Bibles, of course, is one of my favorites too. But did you guys have anything you guys wanted to say about Dusty Bibles as well?
I mean, I agree. I mean, I think it's definitely a song that we all need to hear, and I know I struggle with it. I just got a new TV last week. So Rusty, thank you for
Well,
that
I've got
shiny
a new
TV.
TV too, but I'm just saying, like, it's easy to, it's really easy to, it's kind of like a Christmas tree. It lit lights up. It's real nice. It's pretty. You're like,
Yeah.
I enjoy looking at that thing, and I haven't looked at that Bible in a while, and it's real dusty. And I know it's, getting a little cliche here, but I'm just saying, like,
No, you're
it
right.
really, you really sit down and think about it. That song is just, it's so real. We deal with that every single day. And it's almost like a pandemic amongst us. Like we all struggle with it.
I do like that he is. I mean, he's a younger guy too, and you mentioned already, how much on TikTok that's took off, and I think it's a good thing because I feel like a lot of younger people are seeing that song, and it also helps that it is very catchy. So if
Yeah.
you already get something stuck in your head, that one line that you're talking about, it's a good thing to be stuck in your head. Do you have anything on it, Sean? Sorry, I didn't want to.
No, it's a great song. It's not in my top 3, but it's same thing that you guys said. It's just that it makes you think what has your attention and what are you really focusing on? What matters?
So, Mariah, what about your number 2 song or your top 3?
My number 2, so I utilized my Spotify 2025 wrap up to help me with this because I was like, well, if they're my top songs, and then I kind of went through. There were some that was ahead that me and the kids had listened to, but my number 2 song was also my hidden gem song, and that's "In the Room" by Forrest Frank. And just, I'm not gonna get really in depth on that song because we did with the hidden gem, but I just love that song. And even now, even today, I can listen to that song and just be be in awe, really. And it's one that I think really speaks to, well, it speaks to me, but I think it's one of his songs that kind of gets overlooked because it's a slower Forrest Frank song. Everyone knows Forrest Frank for his beat happy stuff, but I love that song.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song. I hadn't really heard it that much until you mentioned it for your hidden gem at one time. Um, have you heard it? I'm trying to think if you was on that episode with us.
Yes, I've heard it. She's also played it for me before. I've listened to it after
Okay,
her hidden
that's
gem.
well. I can't remember if we've talked about it.
I
Is the
like
reason why I
I like
asked.
that
But
song too.
um, anyway, well, before I say anything, do you have anything on that, Sean?
No, it's just what Mariah was saying. Like she had told us about it in the end gym, and when we went and listened to it, it's not your typical Forrest Frank song, but it's so poignant, and I feel like all these songs, they all recenter and focus you, putting your eyes on Christ. So yeah, it's a good number 2. Where was it at on your Spotify list? Like, where did it fall? Because I'm figuring some of the stuff you listed with the kids ended up being like up higher, but it was
They
if you
were
was yeah.
Remember, it was really hot there because that's one that Mason, my little boy, he really loves that song too. In the
Yeah.
mornings going to school, he'll turn it on, and I think that it's just a very grounding song. That he's God's with us. He's right here beside us now, like I said, and I love it. I don't remember my exact number, but all of my songs were within my top 10. And I do want to also say, not to go back to Josiah Queen, but I was in like the top, I think, 0.4 or 0.5% of listeners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. We were well, I was I think the top the top 0.1 or
I
something
was
like that
too.
of
Brandon Lake.
Brandon Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like way up there because, especially because of the album drop and then the concert too. So it was like, you know, um, but anyway, drum roll, I guess, everybody's number one song now. So we'll get to see what song impacted everybody the most in 25. Chelsea, go ahead and start us off.
So my number one was God, I'm Just Grateful for You by Elevation Worship. It's just it for me, it was one of those songs that just set me on fire, and it's something that I literally just play in my head over and over and over, and I really love the song.
So I thought you was
That's
gonna
also my
say
number
I'm
one.
Just Grateful by Life Church Worship is
That
what I thought you
too.
was
It's close second. I
Yeah.
couldn't decide which one to pick.
Yeah, you guys done a fantastic job doing that the past 2 weeks. I really liked it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I was super excited when y'all sang it.
And what's really funny is that
We
she
like that one too.
yeah, I was like, she wasn't able to be there 2 weeks ago. Bo wasn't feeling good, and I told her when I got home, I was like, "Guess what? You missed." And then y'all done it again, this past Sunday, so you got to listen to it, yeah. So that's a great one. And then we'll get to see Chandler Moore this weekend, and so I'm sure he'll do that song, so that'll be cool.
I'll be
And
surprised if he don't.
oh, yeah, yeah. And then when we go see Elevation Worship, hopefully he'll do it again. I don't know if he'll be there. They have so many different members that, like Chandler kind of goes out and does his own thing sometimes too. So you never know, I guess, if he's going to be there or not, I guess. But anyway, I guess my number one, when I made this list, I kind of wanted to be different and I kind of go outside of like the really like mainstream ones. But I've already mentioned I was like in the top 0.1% of Brandon Lake or whatever. So of course, like Brandon Lake's my number one. One of his songs is my number one for this, and it's for As For Me in My Home. And that song, from the moment that it came out, like that night when the album dropped, I listened to that song over and over and over again. And even now, like it just does not change for me, like the way it makes me feel. And I know we've talked about even centering like discussions that we're going to have with certain people around, like even just stuff in this song. But for me, if I leave this world and I might leave it and might not do a whole lot outside of what I do in my family, if I can at least leave this world knowing that we pass down the gospel to our kids and we help set them up and raise them in a way that they don't live on borrowed faith, as it says in the song, and it passes down to their kids. Like that's what ultimately that's what I would like to leave this world and know. And one line, like the bridge in this line wrecks me, and it has since the moment that like I listened to it, and even now it's one of my favorite like little verses or like I said bridges that I've heard, and it kind of paints the picture of just being in heaven and probably seeing family that's passed, seeing family as they come in. It says like, I just can't wait to see the day a line of saints from my last name, the legacy, the cries of fame, to greet my kids at heaven's gates. There'll be mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, our bloodline covered by your blood. And just like we did on earth below, we'll sing forevermore. And then it goes into the chorus, and I love that line where it says the bloodline covered by your blood. And it just makes me think, I just hope and pray that as we continue to try to raise both of our kids, the right way, that bloodline, like as we get up there, we see that like as they come in, and it talks about like greeting your kids at heaven's gates. And I know them, I mean, I don't know what we'll look like when we get up there, of course they ain't gonna be, what he is now or what they are now, but uh, just to know that, you and your whole family's up there just glorifying God and just like praising Jesus and all of us being there. I don't know. I just think that, and I know that of course, like the center focus is gonna be on Jesus being there, but I think that, um, there's a reason why I feel like the enemy tries to take out the family. And from like the moment right there in the garden, like it was always like the priority. And so it just like, in a way provides like that urgency and how important it is. And the song's also like a statement that when you sing it, like it's like a statement to him, to everybody that like this family, this is what we stand for and this is who we believe in. And so like that song to me that's my favorite song of the year.
For me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and you reap the benefits of that, not just here, but when you breathe your last breath.
We'll bounce over to you and we'll find out your number one song.
My number
2025.
one song is What a God by SEU
Yeah.
Worship. First time I heard that, it was somebody that was doing a cover of it. Like they had a snippet. It was a reel, and it was this. I think it was a kid that was singing, "If the highest place I reach is at your feet, then I've done it all." And I was like, man, that hit me. And I was like, I just like went back and listened to him again. He did the chorus, or the bridge or whatever. And I went and typed those lyrics in and found out it was SEU Worship, and then just started listening to it and like. It was on repeat. And then, we started doing it at church and stuff, and such an amazing song. Again, it's another song, man, that just makes you refocus and, you realize the main thing's the main thing, and it's him. It's like, if I don't get anything else in this world other than just being in your presence or anything that you do for me or that you just even think about me, it's like, I have everything that I need, So yeah, that's my numero uno for 2025. What a God. So, and that bridge gets stuck in my head too, So it's a good song. Anyhow, that's my number one.
We saw SCU Worship last year at Winter Jam, and I hadn't heard that song yet, and I think they played it there, and that one, and they have Monday Morning Faith. They played both of those there, and being they were pre-jam, I
Yeah.
think, and so you have limited songs they had anyway, and so like rolling out like What a God and Monday Morning Faith like on a pre-jam set was like
Woo!
wow.
Awesome. We were super impressed.
Yeah, Rusty, what is your number one, 2025?
My number one has been a song that I've really been listening to a lot here lately. I think I found it a little later in the year. It's called "Still" by David Crowder and Zach Williams. Zach Williams is one of my favorite artists, and Crowder as well. The song it really, it goes into, being very upfront about knowing you're struggling about things. And you almost feel like sometimes you're not winning at life. You're not winning. You're not really, you're just not making the cut sometimes. And then, there's a line, but I remember he's still working on me and changing me piece by piece. And that is such a uplifting thing when I hear that. And just knowing that, no matter how I feel about myself, he's still working on me, and he's still trying to, he's still, on the inside working my heart and dealing with me and, making me better every day. So that song has really been almost like a saving grace for me here these last couple weeks, last couple months, or last month or so, that I finally found that song, and it's my favorite song of last year, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite David Crowder songs.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song.
My number one was also "God, I'm Just Grateful" by Maverick City Music. And like Chelsea said, I just repetitively listen to it. Just such a good song, such a good reminder. And it's just, a lot of songs that we listen to now are a lot about like, well, God is doing for me, but this is just about God. Like, I'm just grateful for you in general. Not because you've given me all of these things, but I'm just grateful for you because you gave your son, I love that song so much.
It's a fantastic song. The chorus is so powerful. I would love to. I just picture like you can't not sing that song without like screaming the chorus to me, and I just like
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm just like picturing every one of us like listening that in our cars. You know what I mean? Which is a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
just like Sean just did. Like that's how I picture all of them there.
I do about myself.
Yeah, it's just such a powerful song. Um, does anybody have any honorable mentions? I have two. I'm not going to like deep dive into them because they were just again. I just want to name drop them.
Yeah, right out of the gate, man. Because this was the No Survivors, right? And this one I was trying to debate between these two as far as being my third. But Get Behind Me by Emerson Day. Like, love that song by her, man. And it's just another one of, and it's got that country hit to it, you know? It's like, so that's a great one. That's an honorable mention for me.
Winter Jam posted a video because they just started their tour up, and she's the opener, I think, of the main set of artists. And they posted a clip of her doing that song the other day, and it's just such a powerful song, and you could see her just get into it, and it's because it's like a song of like pronouncing that authority, over and just like get behind me, and that's a great song. I forgot about that song as far as being 2025, and
Yeah.
Emerson Day was our our very first episode was our number one of her songs. I think it was the house we built on, or I can't remember, something like that. But yeah, such a powerful voice. I had two. I'll drop, and one of them is "God Is Faithful" by Patrick Mayberry and Katie Walt. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it might be the first episode you was on, Sean, or maybe the second one that we did. I think that song was up, or the first one we did our little group voting thing on. That song was like at the top, if I'm not mistaken. And it just reminds me kind of like you had already mentioned in this episode, and you mentioned, I think, in your sermon this past Sunday, but what is it, like when we're faithless, he's faithful,
He's faithful.
right? And that kind of puts you, in that place, that song does. And musically, it's a great song. And Katie Tawal, I'm not sure if I've even heard any other songs by her, but her collab in this, and she's got a fantastic voice. So that was one that I almost had in there. And the other one, and this is one that maybe not a lot of people know, because I've not really heard a whole lot of other songs by her, but it's called "Hello" by Maddie Jane. I played it for you a lot. It's a really upbeat song, like hip hop sounding song. And I love just this one verse. It says, "You," and I can't rap it or do it like she can, of
Please
course,
try.
but no, I can't. It says, "You got my spot locked. You're in the top slot. Your loving is top notch. Haters are blocked. You give me confidence. You gave me evidence. You said you would do it, and you're getting me through it. My breakthrough is fluid like water. I'm running fast, but with you, I'm running faster." And it goes in saying, in love with the word, getting life in every chapter. Said it was a phase, but I always stayed. Devil couldn't say nothing. Slingshot upon my waist. I was born to slay. I was born to do something. I was wondering. I was waiting for your voice resonating. Of course, when she does it, it's a
Yeah, it
lot
was.
better, a lot
Yeah,
more
lot better.
it
fluid.
was.
But yeah, but I've heard it a lot.
And what's her name? Did you say Maddie
It's like
Ray?
Maddie Jane.
Maddie Jane. Because I made this Christian R&B list, and I was thinking, and I went and checked it just now. I've got a bunch of songs from Madison Ryan Ward. Have you heard her?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
I think
covered her,
did
I
we?
think,
I was
on
going
one
to
of
say, I
her.
think we may have covered one of her songs once, but she has a lot of good ones too. I don't know if they're all from this year or whatever, but I mean, it might have been from our show when I stumbled across her and started listening to her stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember she had was it her? She had commented on or shared or something, one of hers that we had mentioned
Oh yeah.
whenever we had first started. I think it was one of the songs you had mentioned, I think, by her. But we definitely, because that's how I
Are
found
you
out about
sure?
her.
One that I
Yeah,
mentioned?
I'm about positive. I'll
I
have to
remember.
go back through it, but I'm about 100%
I'm
sure
pretty
that she
sure
at least
too.
liked one of the clips. But I know that that's where I know her from, is from our show, because I hadn't heard her either until we started doing this. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I've got a bunch of her songs now in this. So I don't remember that specific moment, but like I said, I think I stumbled across her because of the show, and I've got a bunch of them on here. But at first, I thought that's who you were talking about when you said. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this song that you're talking about, because I don't think I've ever heard it.
you would like it. I actually almost, like, while I was like prepping for tonight, I was listening to it. I was like, I bet Sean would like this, and I didn't know if you'd heard it yet. And I almost sent it to
Have
you
not.
earlier, and I hadn't. But yeah, it's a great song. Do you have any honorable mentions? Any that almost made it in?
I really like "What an Awesome God" by Phil
Oh
Wickham.
yeah, his remake of that was a powerful song. Seeing that in person, because we got to see him at Faith Fest. The crazy thing about that is, and really even in a lot of the versions I've heard over the years, it like a collective, a group of people like singing it, and like being in person, hearing it, and hearing everybody in the crowd sing it was
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah.
Mariah, Rusty, y'all have any that didn't make it that was just on the outside?
I think I have an honorable mention, and it's really not just a single song, but an artist that I've really liked that has kind of stuck with me. And I don't know if you guys remember it. We talked about them one day, but the group is called Nona,
Yeah, we was
Nona,
talking about them.
Nonah. And yeah, I've listened to a lot of their songs, a lot of their releases, and every single one of them. They're a lot kind of like slow, almost like acoustic like, which kind of calms my brain sometimes. So I really have liked everything that they've put out. But on Spotify, they're listed Nonah, all in capital. So they're really good.
What was that song that you mentioned, about was it Jesus, I Love You?
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you had mentioned I think the last episode we did before we took the break. That was a fantastic one. Did you have any, Rusty, that was an honorable mention?
I have one, and I've already covered it. I think it was my top song when it first came out. It was "If God Lives Here" by Zach Williams. I ain't gonna really go into it. I done talked about it before, but man, that song, I still listen to that song a lot, and it just hits me. I just love that song.
That's a great song. Recorded at the Red Rocks venue,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I would love to go see a concert there. Have you not seen it? The at
Cameron, honey,
Beautiful?
he's talked about it for a year. He showed me so many videos of so many people playing there. Funny that you're asking me if I'm singing or not.
I don't always get the excitement that I put out back, and so I don't know that it sticks with it, you know?
It's like you're testing her, giving her another opportunity to match
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
enthusiasm.
You just don't know if I don't know if she heard me. Anyway, guys, that wraps up another episode, and I'm so happy to be back on here with you guys. I've missed it. I think
Yes.
it's fun getting on here, chatting it up. I think it holds me accountable too to, um, I've been trying to, get in the word more and stuff anyway, but it just, I don't know, it holds you accountable to try to really stay in that mindset all week, and, especially knowing that we're on here talking about it and getting to share what these songs mean to us and hoping that, praying that it'll connect with someone out there or help them in their journey. And so I really just, even just leading up to this tonight, I was just praying that at going into this second season, the conversations that we're going to have, that it just helps impact people that are listening. But I guess I don't know between here and there, between next week, if we do have an artist interview that we're going to do pretty soon. It might be the next week after that. So guys, just stay tuned because I know we're kind of busy with some stuff this weekend, but we will have an artist interview coming up in about the next 2 or so weeks. And we have about 4 lined up. We just gotta schedule them and get them out there, as well as some in-person, interviews and stuff we've had kind of on the, hold for a brief moment. Yeah, just stay with us, guys, and, if you don't mind, just like, share, subscribe, and like I said earlier in the episode, turn on those notifications so that way you get made aware when we put something new. But if anybody else had anything before we close it out?
It's good to be
No?
back.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Bye.